I gotta ask, were you guys born yesterday? Because if you're 15 and older, then you should know racism exists in this world. Because in some type of history class, you should have taught you that in this world, America was founded upon genocide and racism. That's how this superpower became to be, right? So let me go back on Floyd Mayweather, right? Because everyone's getting a little crazy, like if they were born yesterday. Because if you don't hear from Oprah, George Lopez, Donald Trump, or Floyd Mayweather, racism doesn't exist. You have to understand, racism has always existed. It's dude, this is where pretty much it became like the fucking force. I mean, there's racism all over the world, right? To even to this day, they practice that shit, some shape or fashion. And the United States is no fucking different. So I don't know why you guys act surprised that boxing or any type of fucking sport, for a matter of fact, is not racist. I mean, dude, boxing was founded upon racism as well. They would pit nothing but black fighters against one another for the sake of entertainment of the white folk. I mean, isn't that what Louis Farrakhan says? The white man's heaven is a black man's hell. So why the fuck are you guys acting all surprised that racism doesn't exist in the sport of boxing? I mean, are you fucking serious? Are you serious? Look, before I even get into fucking historical context, Floyd Mayweather thrived on racism. He used the tactic divide and conquer throughout his whole fucking career. He would use racial slurs to Manny Pacquiao, to anybody that would use it back on him, and he was playing this cat and mouse game. Now all of a sudden, because he's a holy man, he's retired and he's a king, he can speak his mind and no one's gonna say he's wrong, right? No one's gonna say he's wrong because a black man or Floyd Mayweather can't be racist. Okay, so let me put it to you like this. Floyd Mayweather has thrived on racism his whole fucking career. I mean, why else would he take the Mexican dates? Right? I mean, why didn't he take the Martin Luther date, the Abraham Lincoln date? No, he specifically took the Mexican dates. Why? And fought Latino fighters and then called himself TBE because I guess by beating Latino fighters or the brown race, right, you're TBE. Well, Floyd, when was the last time Floyd ever fought an Erislandy Lara or an Austin Trout? You can't say Zab Judah is in the level of Austin Trout or Erislandy Lara. No, motherfucker. Exactly. He just fought out of his 49 opponents, like 32 of them are Latino fighters. You understand? That doesn't make you TBE. For an Olympian, right? When was the last time Floyd fought an Olympian? Oscar De La Hoya, possibly? Okay, then. And over the hump, Oscar De La Hoya, right? But never mind. Let me go back on Floyd Mayweather, right? So Floyd Mayweather used divide and conquer, his whole fucking technique. That's his tactic to sell his fights. I mean, look at his resume. Again, he's got a handful of black fighters. Shane Mosley, he barely fought Andre Berto. Let me see, Zab Judah, Chop Chop Corley. I mean, there's a handful. You understand? There's a handful. But looking at his resume, there's like 30 or something plus of Latino fighters. All of a sudden, that makes you TBE. Anyway, he, Floyd did this shit by pinning against race. He thrived on this racism. You understand? You ever hear Timothy Bradley ever complain about when he beat Manny Pacquiao the first time? And he beat Manny Pacquiao the first time. When were you guys defending him when they sent him death threats? When they fucking were using racial slurs out on him, right? No, you guys never defended Timothy Bradley. You guys to this day don't support Timothy Bradley. But all of a sudden, you guys support Floyd Mayweather, right? Because he's a king, right? He pimped out the boxing system and got away for it because he made money. Let me tell you this. Are kings fucking nice? I mean, don't we always criticize presidents? Fucking all the kings out there in the world in history, Napoleon, Alexander the Great, the kings, all kings, they all been fucking assholes. They kill fucking people. They make it us versus them mentality, right? It's us versus them. Floyd Mayweather's doing the same thing. MMA or UFC versus boxing, right? And he'd be saying some other shit what I'm gonna get to. Again, a king is not nice. A king doesn't stand for the poor person. A king doesn't stand for his black people or brown people or yellow people or white people. A king stands for himself. He fucking makes look at the media. Just look at the media. Don't they always fucking exaggerate on fucking black cock killing white folk or white folk killing black? You know what I'm saying? Don't they always do that shit? They always do that shit. So again, that's a system of a king be doing this fucking shit, and we're just the puppets, and we're on strings. You understand? Oh my. Anyway, look. What Floyd Mayweather has done is the same shit like pretty much the Russians are doing right now. And they're pimping out the Mexican dollar, right? The Mexican Russian, the Mexican style. This is boxing. Boxing is all styles. Somebody may have started this fucking movement, but it's like Steve Jobs, man. Look, he invented the iPod. He invented it, right? But he invented it for the world. Well, boxing is much the same. If Floyd Mayweather mastered the shoulder roll, expect all colors of races, not exclusively black folk, to start using the shoulder roll because it's a thing that learns. It's a thing that can be incorporated by the world. That's why when you invent something, expect it's called don't reinvent the wheel. Expect somebody to fucking start emulating that style because what do they say? Emulation is the best form of like flattering or some bullshit. Anyway. Look, Floyd is selfish. He's egotistical. I mean, you fucking this is fact. This is not me being racist or anything. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? It's this. It's all exploitation. It is all exploitation. If I haven't convinced you of anything, I mean, come on now. But anyway, let's go back on Floyd. Floyd said some shit about MMA. Some of it has some truth to it. I don't know. Some personal truth to it. There's some validity to what he's saying. But just to paraphrase, he said they created UFC or MMA because black and Latino fighters have been dominating the sport of boxing. To a certain degree, that is correct. I mean, you look down the resume from heavyweights to, I don't know, super flyweight or bantamweight. Or I don't know. I don't know how many divisions are there. There's like 24 of them. Anyway, you look down all the, there's probably most likely a Latino or a black fighter, a champ, right? So what Floyd is saying, there's some validity to that. But as far as for Dana White or whoever created UFC, look, it's a business. It's a sport. It's a combat sport. There's a lot of people that have always done karate, jiu-jitsu, and now they just made it at a world audience here in the United States. But it's always been over there in Japan. It's always been over there in other eastern, parts of the world. All of a sudden, just because the fight capital of the world decides to do it, what, do you think they invented the UFC? Nah, man, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where do you think these things come from? Anyway, Dana White saw a form of making money, and they saw that white folk were also participating in it, and they can make Conor McGregor and stuff like that. That's not racist. That's not necessarily saying it's this. Look, if Floyd was so good for the sport of boxing, right, he would be condoning a white fighter. You understand? He would be condoning a white fighter to join his team because he understands money. Green is green. It don't matter where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? Ronald Reagan had a quote with that shit. He said some shit like, look, if a white folk don't want to sell his house in a white neighborhood to a black folk, well, that's the white folk is the idiot because don't matter if it's black money, green money, brown money, like money is money. It don't have no form of colors. He just being a fucking racist. Ronald Reagan was like, that dude's a fucking idiot. Anyway, so Floyd is, again, he's dividing and conquering the same fucking thing. MMA versus boxing. I mean, when's the last time you seen a white fighter? What, like Ricky Hand, right? Or Joe Kawasaki, you know what I'm saying? Or Klitschko. But you don't talk about that, right? So how is that? Look, for me to not get too far away, man, Floyd Mayweather is playing you guys. He's playing you guys all over again, man. Anyway, so he beat, and I paraphrase here because I don't have the direct quote or anything. So Floyd said they created the sport of their own to make white fighters fight over there because black and brown have been dominating the sport of boxing. So let's stop right there. Aren't there black champions in the UFC? Isn't like John Bone Jones the fucking and Anderson Silva one of the best fucking? They're like the best. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know there's GSP, but I'm saying like in terms of like how great they've been dominating. These dudes like never lose. You see what I'm saying? Now I don't know that much about the octagon, but I know a little bit. I watched a little bit. Now I'll tell you again, Floyd loves making it racial. He's dividing and conquering people, us versus them, MMA versus boxing, instead of all being one combat sport. No, he has to make it exclusively all about that shit. I mean, Floyd is the only one that always talks about UFC. Every UFC fighter calls out Floyd. Nobody calls out Manny Pacquiao from the UFC. I don't ever hear Conor McGregor talk about Manny Pacquiao or calling out Canelo Alvarez. Canelo and Manny Pacquiao never play these games. It's Floyd Mayweather always playing these games. Why? Again, it's Floyd Mayweather. It's nobody else. He's playing you guys all over again. Anyway, look. Again, man, if you think racism doesn't exist in boxing, I mean, you would have to be born yesterday. That's the only reason you wouldn't think it exists. I mean, come on. Just look at the world. If the world is racist, what makes you think boxing is not? What makes just simple as that? If the world is racist, why would you not think boxing is not? I mean, racial profiling, cops here in the United States, this is a militarization state. Why do you guys act so surprised? I mean, you guys have to drop down a comment with this shit, man. This shit is fucking very frustrating and it's very childish. Very childish. You understand? Let me tell you this, man. If Floyd was really about boxing, right, and he was worried about making more money, he would be accepting of this, what you guys call this white agenda. He would accept the Russians to come over here because they'd bring more audience, right? They'd be more audience. You understand? And more audience and more viewership. It don't matter where it's coming from, whether it's the brown or the black, Latino or black community. It would also be the white community. So if Floyd was really about boxing, or is Floyd really about himself? If Floyd was about boxing, he would be like, yeah, man, we need to have a white fighter. You know what I'm saying? Someone that's very talented to take over a little bit so we can make a killing off of him, right? No. No, Floyd is not like that. He's like, nope, I gotta defend my kind. No, he's not. You're not defending nobody. Never does he fucking side with Timothy Bradley. Why? Because Timothy Bradley don't play these games. You understand? This is what Floyd does. He pimps your fighters out. You understand? This is what he does. Not too long ago, he was trying to recruit Canelo Alvarez. Why? Why? It's not because he's Mexican and he was the next star. Because of the flesh of his skin. Because if he was the next Mexican and the next star, Jesse Vargas, to a certain degree, Floyd was trying to recruit him. You know what I'm saying? But they just went their own ways or some shit. I don't know. I don't really know the story behind that, right? But it goes like this. If Floyd was really about the sport of boxing and helping boxing grow, right? And have boxing growth and make it as great, the apex. Because boxing used to be, like Keith Thurman said, one of the greatest sports in the world. It was the greatest. Everybody would be boxing. That's where the money was at. Now it's like baseball and football and, you know what I'm saying? But boxing used to be that heyday. And it's because all walks of earth, of people would fight here. You see what I'm saying? But Floyd don't want that. Floyd don't want that. You see what I'm saying? And again, he's pimping you guys out. Let me tell you this. For example, let's talk about the Russian fighters of right now. I'm just going to focus on three because I know there's more, but I'm just focus on three. Sergey Kovalev, right? Possibly a racist. We know he's a racist, right? But look at his resume. It's been a pretty good fucking tough resume, and he's got some pretty good skills. Beating everybody. Don't matter. All types of colors. So he beats everybody. Let's talk about Lomachenko. And his two gold Olympic medalists like Rigondeaux. In the second fight, tried to fight Orlando Salido, right? Because they were trying to make him a champion and build him up really quick. Well, Orlando Salido spoiled them. But Lomachenko has a pretty good fucking stellar resume. He gave Gary Russell Jr. his first fucking loss. Gary Russell Jr. is fucking legit. He beat like a Mexican fighter, Johnny Gonzalez, like in 3 rounds. Beat the motherfucker easy. Lomachenko beat Gary Russell Jr. Not easy. It was very tough, very entertaining fight. Check that fight out. Lomachenko got spoiled in his plans by Orlando Salido. Top Rank fucked up on that one. They tried to rush him up against a dirty Mexican, right? And he was doing a lot of dirty tactics, a veteran moves. Let me call it like that. Because what I just said like 2 sentences ago, that was pretty fucking racist. Coming from a Mexican myself, so hey, I'm sorry. But anyway, spoiled his fucking plans. Gennady Golovkin, he's fought good fighters. You know what I'm saying? He fought Gabe Rosado, Martin Murray, credible opponents. Martin Murray, you guys don't know, watch the Sergio Maravilla fight. They robbed him over there in Argentina. Gabe Rosado, I mean, dude, this dude is legit. It just, they have bad matchmaking against Gabe Rosado. Let's talk about David Lemieux. He's a solid fighter. He beat a lot of credible opponents. There's some other couple fighters that I don't know from the top of my head. The Gennady Golovkin. Curtis Stevens is another one. Curtis Stevens is legit. I don't care what anybody says. That little dude is a tank. That fucking dude's got big shoulders. That boy can pop. But no, you guys discredit Triple G. You guys always say, well, look, you guys always talk about his knockout ratio and how knockout people would be loved. Well, Deontay Wilder has a pretty good, solid resume. You understand? But he's only got one legit fighter, and that's a Bermain Stavern. Triple G has Bermain Stavern is equivalent to Curtis Stevenson in terms of, like, not technique and mass, but I'm talking about, like, how good they are in respect to the division, and even similar to how they fight. Stavern and Curtis Stevens are pretty much the same level. Gennady Golovkin disposed of Curtis Stevens. Fucked him up. Because Curtis Stevens was talking a gang of shit. For the build-up, for those that don't know, he was coming out with a coffin, having pictures of Gennady, like, right there. Gennady Golovkin could have punished Curtis Stevens away, like, in 3 rounds. But he slowly punished, inflicting Gennady's will, because Gennady was like, I felt disrespected. He was saying, like, just watch the post-fight interview with Max Kellerman and Gennady. He was saying, like, I wanted to hurt this guy for all the shit that he was talking about. Anyway, it goes down to this. So Gennady Golovkin, if you talk about the money he's making, he ain't making good money. You know what I'm saying? He won't even play ball with Canelo. The Russians are doing the same thing Floyd did. Didn't Floyd wear the sombrero one time when he found like Oscar or any Hispanic, right? Well, Gennady Golovkin and the Mexican Russians and all this shit, aren't they doing the same thing too? So it's not you guys are pimping out the black dollar. You guys are pimping out the brown dollar. You're pimping out the Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? The Mexican style. Motherfucker, taking punches to the face, coming forward to take some, to give one. What, that's Mexican style? Nah, that's not Mexican style. Just look back, man. Just look back. There's only been a select few fighters that can be able to do that shit. To be able to take those type of punishment, not a lot of Mexicans have done that. Miguel Vasquez can't do that. Finito Ricardo Lopez couldn't do that shit. Let me see. Oscar De La Hoya couldn't do that. Motherfucker couldn't even take a good body shot from B-Hop. And B-Hop ain't really known to be that great of a body puncher. Let me see. Man, I can go down the list. Canelo Alvarez ain't fucking Mexican style. That'd be more Triple G, so, right? Brandon Rios is Mexican style. Chavez Jr., Senior. I mean, come on. That's like the best Mexican fighter out there. Again, if Floyd was about boxing, if it was truly about boxing, he wouldn't be playing this us versus them divide and conquering tactics, man. He would be accepting, he would try to be recruiting somebody to his TMT stable that was white. You see what I'm saying? But let's not go too further. How come Floyd Mayweather hasn't recruited Guillermo Rigondeaux? Somebody who's all about the art of hit and not get hit. Why doesn't he recruit Guillermo Rigondeaux and build him up? Before he's not with Rock and Jay-Z. I'm saying, how come he didn't recruit him before then? Because Floyd Mayweather has always been about himself. A king is always about himself. A king stands alone at the top. You see what I'm saying? This is Floyd Mayweather. This is the United States of America. They play these fucking games and then they trust your nationality, or if you're a true patriot, or you hate us, so you know we're gonna kill you, this and this and that. Nah, man, nah. We're just pointing out the fucking stupidity that you guys be doing and shit. Floyd Mayweather has always been about himself, right? I mean, fuck. When has he ever given money to anybody? You know what I'm saying? 78 Sports made a blacklist fighters, saying like, Floyd, why you keep fighting Latino fighters? Why don't you making them money? How come you don't fight another black fighter and give them money? Right? You see what I'm saying? 78 Sports said this shit. I'm not misconstruing the words or twisting and flipping it just to fit my narrative. I have no narrative. You understand? Just for you guys don't know about my videos, I'm saying Brandon Bradley will knock out Manny Pacquiao because it makes sense. You see what I'm saying? To me, but that's a big statement. I don't hate nobody. I don't have no agenda. You see what I'm saying? I'm all about boxing and the growth. I don't care about catch weights. I don't care for catch weights, like if they happen or not. I just want to see the best fights happen. That's what boxing should be about. You see what I'm saying? I mean, didn't Angel Garcia say some stupid ass shit the other day? Oh, it's not about the glory. It's not about the glory. Oh, hold on. Maybe, no. It's sometimes about the glory. You see what I'm saying? But it's more about the paper, man. It's more about the paper. Why fight Keith Thurman? Why fight Sean Porter when you can be fighting the Salkas? You see what I'm saying? Because those punches hurt. But didn't Rod Salka, when he got knocked the fuck out, didn't that shit hurt to Rod Salka? It just didn't hurt to Danny Garcia, right? What do you call that?